Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live broadcast from the My Powerful Choices. Uh, it's actually in the My Powerful Choices Top 5% and Abundance group, but this is through the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network page, our weekly free money and abundance training that we have every Wednesday, usually at noon. Due to my animal rescue, sometimes it varies during the afternoon, but we have it every Wednesday here live to take your free money and abundance questions. For those of you who don't know, my name is Larkin Sell. I've been a law of attraction coach, a mindset mentor, and transformational specialist for 12 years, a lifelong study of the mind, of being a conscious creator of religion and spirituality in all different philosophies throughout history. And what I bring to my clients and to this program is the key components for creating an abundant life, whether that's wealth and money and abundance that you desire or the other abundant aspects of life. I teach my clients to neurologically be programmed to create healthy mindsets and to learn to get free of and master their mind so that they can practice the blueprint for being a conscious co-creator. And yes, my friends, that includes money and abundance. This particular broadcast weekly is dedicated specifically to money and abundance. So I hope you brought your notebooks, your pens, your questions, and your friends, because I'm ready to answer them and help you begin to make some major headway. I want to ask you guys a few questions starting out today for you to think about moving forward, because it is the questions we ask ourselves that are so important and powerful. We're all after the answers, but are you asking yourself the right questions? Whether it be anything that you want to manifest and create in your life or change and transform, or whether it be specifically money and abundance. You see, on last night's My Powerful Choices Awareness Network broadcast, I shared with you the two most important components that determine your money, your abundance, and your manifestations. And today I'm going to elaborate on those in regards to money and abundance. So if you did not see that broadcast, I will post the link here below after this broadcast. For those of you on YouTube, you might want to go ahead and like the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network page if you find this useful, and like that broadcast as well. Okay. So I want to ask you guys, are you currently satisfied with your money and abundance situation? For 95% of the population, that answer is no. Okay. And I'm always speaking to two groups of thinkers out there. Those of you who think money is evil and have taken a lot of the religious teachings out of context, have followed a lot of the brainwashing over the centuries that makes you feel guilty about having money, that believes money is the root of all evil, like I used to, that perhaps, doesn't want to make more than your neighbor or your parent or your friends, that has a fear of having money. These are all questions you guys need to ask yourself. Which of these two groups of thought do you come from? Are you that person? Are you the person that, your face gets red and your ears start to burn when a conversation of money comes up? Does it stress you out? Are you embarrassed to talk about it? Are you embarrassed to tell people that you want money, and not just money, but wealth and prosperity? Are you afraid of that? Because my friends, most of us have been taught to have shame associated with money. Okay. Or are you the opposite school of thought, that you love money and you want money and you think money is going to solve all your problems, which if you're headed down that direction, you're going to be miserable also. Okay. Because that doesn't work either. Money is only one aspect of abundance. And those of you who are just after money, you're going to find that it doesn't fulfill you and it doesn't stay with you. Okay. So there is a middle ground here, my friends. And I cater this broadcast to both of those ways of thinking. You need to be, for anything that you want to change and achieve and acquire and become, that is not where you are right now. It requires you to be, I don't like the term open-minded, but it does require you to be open-minded enough to entertain ideas and concepts that you do not already have and adopt as your own set of beliefs. Because if it weren't, guess what? You'd already have what you want. Okay. So you guys will find that I'm not talking about religion on here, but I will mix universal laws and principles with science and practices of that you can practice each and every day in regards to creating your own mindset, to neurological reprogramming, because I'm a neurological reprogrammer, okay? So we actually are coming at this from all different angles. If you want to create not just change, but transformation in your life, you must at least be open to that which you are not yet aware of, okay? Because if you not only were aware of the things you're not aware of, but you also knew how to apply what works in your own life to create what you desired, you wouldn't even be listening to this broadcast, okay? And this isn't just something in any aspect of your life that's a quick fix, right? This is a way of living. I teach my clients a way of living. So when we're talking about money and abundance today, guys, these are things not only do you have to become aware of, there's awareness that's a key component, there's the knowledge, which is only one small component, and then there's how to apply that in your life. Now, one of the things that really inspired me when I got started in creating my own conscious life, it wasn't just how to get what I wanted once, okay? I was well aware that this wasn't how it worked long before that. It's about how could I successfully repeat the patterns and habits that would bring me the ongoing transformations I wanted, the ongoing success I wanted, to become the person I want continually. Because becoming who you want to be is not about, boom, you do it once and it's there. Now you're who you want to be. We hear that in the media, in movies, in music, in talking to other people, in seeing interviews. Our ego gets this idea that it's a one-time deal, that there's going to be a big break, right? That we're going to have a big epiphany and then everything's going to change. You might have big epiphanies. I hope you have one on my broadcast. My clients have lots of big epiphanies while they're working with me. But it's not about just one big epiphany. It's about creating a series of habits and a lifestyle that constantly allows you to create these habits, transformations, and patterns that lead you to consistently being able to create what you want in your life. Okay? Not just once, but repeatedly, no matter what it is. That means anything and everything you believe to be impossible, that you know exactly what you've got to do to create a series of events like dominoes that gets you the end result, right? Hi, Gary. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. Guys, I am on Facebook and YouTube today, okay? So we're doing this broadcast on both, and there we go. Just fixing the lighting over here. So if you guys have any questions before I move on to the next component of this, please feel free to share them with me and let me know what your questions and comments might be as we go through this broadcast. This is thousands of dollars of free coaching that I offer you guys here every week, okay? So you guys should be writing this down. What is your answer to that question? Do you fall into one of those two mindsets? Okay. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you're in the middle. Maybe you understand that even though money is not the end all, and it certainly doesn't solve all your problems, as a matter of fact, you'll find that you acquire a whole new set of challenges and problems when you acquire money and wealth. Okay. But it does allow you and help you to get out of survival mode. It is definitely a powerful tool, okay? And every week I remind you that money is just energy, okay? That paper stuff you hold in your hand is not money. It's a representation of money. That paper stuff with ink on it is just that, paper with ink, okay? It represents our exchange of value and service between people. That's all that paper stuff is. Where is money really created? I discussed this on last night's broadcast in the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network page. Where is money? Where does it come from? Where does your money actually come from? And I get all sorts of cool answers from my clients about this. But the true answer is your money comes from in here. It comes from your consciousness and your imagination, okay? Now, those of you tangible people out there, I am a science person, so I hear you. But this is where those of you who are very caught up in your logical mind really will fall through the cracks, okay? Because everything is energy, everything, okay? And so money is just an extension of you. It's an extension of the value that you are providing for other people and your self-concepts and beliefs. That is what money is. Okay, so if you want to up-level your money in abundance, you must raise your standards and you must change your self-concepts. You must change your mindset about money and abundance. Okay, period. It can't happen without doing that. And there are so many wealthy, self-made millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires out there who started from nothing. Okay, if you guys haven't read Think and Grow Rich, that whole book is about hearing what all of these people, okay, created from nothing. Okay, I'm sure you guys have heard of this book and probably even read the book, okay, by Napoleon Hill. But what's really important is that this was the culmination of a research project, okay, that Napoleon Hill did that was initiated by Carnegie as a research project to put together what the principles and habits and basis is for creating wealth from nothing. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you are right now, whether those of you who don't have any money, you might think you have money issues. Well, you really can't have money issues without money. Okay, so if you have nothing and you're struggling like I was 17 years ago with $10 in the bank, trust me, you don't have money issues. You don't know what money issues are. Okay, you might have lack of money issues, but you don't have money issues. Okay. So that's, another big misconception people have, but then they keep repeating that. So whether you're there and you're thinking that repeatedly and bringing more of that in your life, or whether you're like many of my clients where you're millionaires and multimillionaire clients, but wow, it's time to up level for the next thing. And, or you have a tremendous fear of loss, and, or all of a sudden you have the money, but you're not feeling abundant. Okay. So there's a whole mix of things that happen here. But it doesn't matter which pool you are in. The fundamentals remain the same, okay? Your mindset and your beliefs, and then the choices that come from that, including your attitudes. Your attitude is a choice, okay? Absolutely must be in alignment with the idea of money and abundance that you want. Now, I'm going to discuss with you guys today, until you have questions, a couple of aspects that you need to think about, that you need to ask yourself and you really need to think about, okay? Do not think that just because someone becomes a millionaire or multimillionaire that all of a sudden they don't have these questions, that all of a sudden they don't practice these things. In fact, they practice them far more than those of you who do not have that type of money, okay? Hi, Jen. Guys, please say hi when you pop on. Let me know you're there. It's awfully lonely here broadcasting by myself. It's much more fun when we're interactive. So one of the things I want you guys to think about in regards to yourself is to take a look at that question that I posed last night. What is your mindset in general? Is it abundance and prosperity? Do you have a wealthy mindset in general? Or do you have a poor mindset, a lack mindset? The other question to ask yourself is, what are your self-concepts about money? Perhaps you're growing your business, or you married into money and all of a sudden things are different and better. I want to throw this in there for those of you that maybe feel stuck or feel like you've tried things for a long time and you feel like maybe they're not working. Here's what I tell my clients. Okay. Now, mind you guys, I have clients that just do my 90-day confidence and clarity program. I have clients that come and they actually coach with me for an entire year. A lot of my multi-million-dollar clients do that. I have clients who, come in, they repeat the program, or they come in and they just want to keep me for feedback and outside support. Why? Because we all constantly need that. Okay. All of the wealthiest people in the world have mentors, not necessarily even about money, about their mindset. Okay. But one of the common things that comes up with my clients is, even a year or two in, I've got clients that have stayed with me for 5 years now. And they'll come and they'll say, well, God, I've really been working on this thing for a while. Why isn't this working? Well, it's not that their process isn't working. It's not that they're doing anything wrong. You guys have to understand that your current reality is the past. It's what you've reflected in the past. It is a past representation of your self-concepts, of your mindset, of your beliefs, which are just repeated thoughts, of your choices, and of your habits and patterns. Okay? So we look at our current reality and we think, oh my gosh, this is how it is now. Well, that's different than being in the now and being present. The current physical conditions, tangible conditions that you're seeing in your life is old news. It is the past. It's what you created in the past. If and when you want a new future, you have to go through this process of becoming aware or conscious of your mindset, of your self-limiting beliefs. You have to hunt down those trolls in your subconscious mind, which is what I help my confidence and clarity clients to do. Okay, this isn't optional. This is a must. Every self-made millionaire and billionaire, every self-made financially free person, every successful person, even if you don't want money, okay, I respect that. That's totally fine. Every person who gets what they want, I don't like that term, does this in one way or another, okay? And they get outside help, okay? Now, this is really, really vital, guys, because if you're looking at your money in abundance situation, you have to understand that you might see ups and then, you might level off and then you might see dips. Why does this happen? My clients are like, why does this happen? Well, it happens because you have to think about how long you went with those old self-limiting beliefs, okay? Think about what was already in your vortex before you became conscious of how to work on it and what you had to work on. Okay, think about all the years or decades and all the hours and minutes in that day, in those days over the decades that you spent repeating the same self-limiting beliefs, the same mindsets, the same self-concepts to yourself. Okay, guys, there's going to be a mix there. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not going to be a this turnover. Now, my clients get results very quickly compared to most people, because I do the most cutting edge techniques with them to help them reprogram. But guys, there's a lot of reprogramming. And what happens is that once you conquer one thing, then there's something else you want and desire, right? So once you get to, 6 figures, then you want 7 figures. Well, then you got to conquer the beliefs that come with that, because our mind always sets these self-limitations for ourselves. Okay? So the worst possible thing you can do is do what 95% of people, the 95% of people who don't get what they want, which is why, for those of you listening in Facebook, you're listening through the My Powerful Choices Top 5% in Abundance group. It's not because there's 5% of people on the planet that are better than 95%. It's that there's 5% of people on the planet that are willing to do what it takes to learn the blueprint, to invest in themselves, to get and maintain and continue getting successful results. That's it. That is the only difference. You could be the poorest person on the planet, my friends, and if you did exactly what I'm describing, you invested in yourself, you got a mentor, you were brave enough to get out of your comfort zone, you followed the blueprint, you made the changes that I'm talking about, you would get anything and everything you desired if you applied these techniques to that. Okay? I have known many people that were born with silver spoons in their mouth, and by the time they were in their mid-20s or their 30s, they were flat broke or on the street. Okay, so we all have this equal potential. Every one of you has this equal potential. It is simply a matter of, are you following this blueprint or not? Are you following the blueprint for successful conscious creation? This includes money in abundance or not. Okay. And where do we start? We start by you needing to know, absolutely must. You must make it a must for you to see where you fall in this category. Are you in the category of a poor mindset, or are you in the category of a wealthy and abundant mindset? Okay. You must know that. Because if you are in a poor mindset and you are, sludging along, working your butt off, and you're making things happen, it can't stay with you if you don't have a frequency of abundance. Okay? I love how Michael Beckwith teaches this. He says that, money and abundance cannot remain with a person that has the vibrational frequency and the mindset and the mentality and the consciousness of lack. Okay? That has a poor mindset. And he's not the only one to teach this. Okay? It can't. You could win the lottery. I've had several clients that have won the lottery, and before they even came to me, they lost it. Why? Because they had a poor mindset. They believed money was the answer. Okay? I only take 40% of the people that apply to coach with me, guys, after I make you jump through hoops. And it's very interesting because some of the people that I refuse to work with, I send them to someone else, or I give them things they need to do before they coach with me, is a lot of them come just wanting money. They're money hungry. Well, guess what? It's a law of the universe. You're going to get back exactly what you're radiating, exactly what you're thinking, exactly what your state of consciousness is. So if you are just money hungry and you think that's going to fix the ink I was telling you about, it's nothing. The wealthy people in the world, my friends, it's not the money they're after. You have to be after the mindset of wealth and abundance and prosperity. And your why has to coalesce. Now, please do not misunderstand here, because words get in the way. I am not saying that every wealthy person on the planet is a good person and got money the right way. I'm not saying that. But listen, the universe doesn't judge, guys. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. If you understand the blueprint for getting what you want, or manifesting your desires, okay, and you apply those, the universe doesn't judge or discriminate. I mean, look at Hitler. Okay. Hitler obviously knew he wasn't just doing things on a down-to-earth concrete level, guys. Nothing manifests that way because everything's energy, including our physical world. It all starts at the energetic level, which is why I have my Larkin Psychic Medium page, and I also have an intuition program, and I teach people to use energy. What do you think your thoughts are? Energy. What do you think money is? Energy. It's all money is. So when you have this mindset, when you yourself become wealthy and abundant, when you yourself become this mindset of prosperity and abundance, think about what that means. What does it really mean to be abundant and prosperous, right? You can give, you can provide, you can serve, right? Remember, money is just energy. Money is nothing more than the value that is exchanged between people. Okay? Now, you don't have to think that value is worth something. But if enough people find value in a particular thing, that creates more value in your life. You can then deliver more value. Okay, so for those of you out there who are, I have a lot of spiritual entrepreneur women who are my clients, and a lot of them came to me or are overcoming this idea that you can't be spiritual and have money, or they fall into the old, religious misunderstandings that, basically if you have a lot of money, you're going to hell, right? The old concept of it's easier for the camel to pass with the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. Well, we need to be very careful. Just because, somebody's priest or somebody said this, a person said this and interpreted it a certain way, doesn't mean you have to. That's not how that was meant. Okay? We have to think about the times and the languages and the translations and how people had to understand things at the time that was written. Okay? Camels were, a wealthy thing to have at the time that was written. Okay, so of course they're going to be using camels because that was in their everyday life at the time that was written. Okay, and a lot of this stuff was changed and morphed throughout history. So please do not get caught up in this. Don't limit yourself by these beliefs. I try to stay away from the religious aspects and really narrow down and simplify for you guys what this is really about. Okay, this is about what you believe. Because what you believe shapes your vibrational frequency. Okay, it is aligning or disaligning you with your vortex. Make sense? Okay, so it's very important. Guys, I'm going to take a sip of my tea real quick. Please say hello when you pop on. Let me know you're there. Let me know if you guys have any questions for me today about money and abundance. There are so many hundreds of thousands of things I want to share with you. And I try to keep each one of these broadcasts simple enough that you guys can all really, remember as much as possible and go off and start applying these things. Every little choice you make, every little step you take towards what it is you desire is huge. Why? Because you're either spiraling up and towards what you want or away. Nothing in the universe is ever still and stagnant, nothing. And your life, since you are the universe and the universe is within you, guess what? Your life follows the pattern of the universe. Okay, so wherever your focus is where you will go. The more you expose yourself to my broadcasts or somebody else's broadcasts that are teaching the same things, if you prefer, the more you expose yourself to this stuff, guys, the more you're programming yourself, because you are being programmed 24/7 and you're either the gatekeeper of that programming or you are not. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I turned my spotlight on today because it got really rainy and dark and it was supposed to be partly sunny today. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. So you need to then look at, if you, back to this question that my clients always ask me, which is, why am I not getting the results that I want? Right? Hi, Jean. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. People are always like, why am I not getting the results I want? Or they think they're not getting results fast enough. Well, guys, there are self-limiting beliefs that, like an oil well, are going to keep coming up. This is a lifetime process. Are you going to invest in yourself for this lifetime process or aren't you? 95% of people on the planet are scared of change. They believe their excuses and they choose not to. It's as simple as that. Okay? And even less of those people, only 1 to 3%, actually apply that to the money, wealth, and abundance that they can acquire. Okay? Thanks for saying hi, Jean. Welcome. Great to have you here. Let me know if you have any money and abundance questions, okay? This is a powerful broadcast today. So it is really important that you guys, don't give up before you even get started. Most people throw in the towel who don't even have any money. They'll throw in the towel before they even get started. Hi, Timmy. Welcome. Thanks for saying hi. Yay. Okay. Are you one of those people? Are you Eeyore? Do you throw in the towel before you even have started down the path? Do you think that, Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill and Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey, anyone you can think of that you look up to that has money and abundance and prosperity, do you think they threw in the towel? I choose clients who don't throw in the towel. Right, Jen? All right. If you throw in the towel, you can be absolutely sure you're going nowhere. Okay? It is those people who put their boots on and grind through the mud, not in necessarily working hard to make things happen, but in working hard to free themselves from their self-limiting beliefs, from their mindset, to raise their standards, to up-level their abundance. Okay? If you don't do that, you might as well forget it. Okay? But most people, and this is where you guys really need to start, answering the questions I gave you at the beginning. If you just logged on, make sure you guys go back and listen to that. Okay? Thank you, Jen. Great to see you. Jen says, absolutely. Okay? If you guys have a victim or a quitter mentality, you need to change it right now. Really quick. Really quick. Okay, I can't tell you how many women message me and they have to have an application for the program because they want to up-level their money and abundance and their relationships. And then I'll get a message a few weeks later. This is why you have to jump through hoops to work with me, guys. You're not going to get results you want if you're like this. And if you're like this, you need to make the decision now, not an hour from now, to change it. They'll message me a few days later and they'll say, as soon as I get out of this relationship and, I get a few more $1,000s and I switch jobs and all this and that, I'll come back. Then I'll apply. It doesn't work that way. Don't you understand that if you don't take the opportunity and create the space now, something else will fill that space? There will always be a reason why you are not going to do what you need to do to get what you want. This is the pattern of the mind when the mind is running your life. This is why on last night's broadcast, I said, do it now. Right now. Call that person that you need to do now. Sign up for that program now. Change your diet now. Whatever it is, guys, if you're not doing something for it right now, you are falling into the mind trap. You don't have to believe me. 1 to 3% of you on here will take my advice. 1 to 3%. The rest of you will get off of here. You'll get away from the broadcast. You'll think, oh, yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or I'll do it next week. It doesn't work like that. Why do you think 5% of the population knows how to repeatedly get what they want? Why do you think that? If you have been wanting something for 6 months or more, and you are, spinning your wheels, or you feel stuck, or you feel like you're a victim because something's always happening to get in your way. Guys, my job as a coach is not to be your friend. It is to call out the elephant in the room. And I love to do that. That is my favorite thing to do. You know why? Because that is the mind's bullshit. And it's all bullshit. Go listen to Muji. Guys, I'm a spiritual teacher. I reincarnate lifetime after lifetime to teach that same stuff. Go listen to Muji. M-O-O-J-I. Love him. He'll tell you. He has a video that he's a spiritual teacher. He doesn't teach you how to get money, abundance, or wealth. He just works on conscious awakening. But you know what he says? It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And he says, he uses it in terms of it's nothing. He goes, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's all nothing. It's nothing, I tell you. And he laughs. And he's right. It's all nothing. Okay, so ask yourself this question. What have you been struggling with for 6 months or more? Now, if you have a list a zillion miles long and you're making progress on that list and you're learning this blueprint for manifesting, and you've got some things that you're still really working on, but other things are popping in, you're doing fine. You're learning it. You're cleaning out the trolls and you're reprogramming your mindset and up-leveling your standards. But my friend, if you have things that you look back and you've been really struggling with for 6 months or more now, and every once in a while you look at that and you say, oh, it's doing better now. Oh, I'm doing better. I'm sorry, just because you've got one paycheck that's better or you got 3 new clients, that doesn't mean it's not moving in a spiral up direction. But how do you then sabotage yourself? What do? When you go to do something different then, doesn't it always seem like something happens in your life? Doesn't the car break down? Or somebody gets sick? Or somebody gets laid off? And that becomes your reason not to. I did that for years, guys. To date, I've calculated over $100,000 that I wasted because I didn't want to get a mentor. And here are my real reasons, guys, which are excuses. So ask yourself, look at your own life while I'm sharing mine. I want you to look at what your excuses are. Okay? What are your excuses for why you don't have what you want? Okay? Now, side note, I'm not saying it's your fault. Okay? The programming and mindset that you've had, it's not that it's your fault. But it becomes your fault if you don't take radical responsibility now. You have to take radical responsibility, guys. No one else can do it for you. I would love to say to my clients, hey, for this much money, I'll solve all your problems. And essentially, I hand them the blueprint and I give them the outside feedback to do exactly that. But they have to do it, right? If you're going to build the muscles to run a marathon, your coach can't do it for you. You're not going to have the muscles if you don't get up in the morning, eat the right food, stay hydrated, show up for practice, get the right shoes, do the running yourself. Take care of your body, right? How are you taking care of your money and abundance right now? How are you nurturing your wealth? How many of you cringe when you hear me say money and wealth and prosperity and abundance? How many of you? Answer these questions. Okay. Why do I focus on this so much? Why do I have this broadcast? If I'm a spiritual teacher and I'm helping people consciously awaken and manifest what they want, why and how am I teaching about money and abundance? Well, what typically happens when you look at people or neighborhoods or nations? Not in all cases, but what happens when you look at anyone in survival mode or any group of people in survival mode? Is it a place you'd want to live? No. Why? Well, one of Dr. Wayne Dyer's teachers, greatest teachers, and favorite professors. Does anybody know who that was? Anybody out there know who one of Dr. Wayne Dyer's favorite teachers was? Who really got him started on his journey of understanding the blueprint for life and why it's so important for us to become what we want to create? Does anybody know? Timmy says, experience is a good teacher. It takes someone like me to know. Yes, Timmy, experience is the best teacher. Your last lesson was your best teacher. Okay, so that is so true. Why am I up here teaching wealth and abundance in a happy marriage, loving what I do every day, and some of you aren't? The only difference is I have failed way more times than most of you. And the second reason is because I chose to do something different about it. It's what you choose to do with that experience that matters. Okay, I raised my standards. I said enough is enough. I didn't choose my excuses. I chose my results. That is the only difference. Okay, and I'm choosing to get on a platform and share that. Make myself vulnerable to share that with other people so that hopefully they can step up and do the same thing. All right, so back to this question. Does anybody know who Dr. Wayne Dyer's first major teacher was that really catapulted him into all of his studies? It was Maslow, Abraham Maslow, guys. Okay, and you have to understand that our mind is there to keep us alive. And money in abundance is not beyond this. Okay? Gene says, was it Jesus? Great guess, Gene. But it was actually Abraham Maslow. Okay? He was one of Dr. Wayne Dyer's professors. And the reason that what he taught was so important, guys, and I don't even think he understood the significance of it at the time, but our mind is there to keep us alive. So the reason the mind is always giving you excuses, and yes, you will see them as real. Okay, if you guys haven't seen the broadcast I did, well, you guys should be watching all these broadcasts, but from a couple weeks ago, I think it was actually last Tuesday, and I talked about how you really have to stop seeing your reality and believing what you're seeing with your senses. And you have to instead start believing. Whatever your subconscious mind, that 95%, my friends, that is ruling your life believes, you will experience in your life as your physical, tangible reality. That's it. And if you say to me, well, that's not true, Larkin, because I believe I deserve money in abundance. I believe I deserve a good relationship. I believe I'm healthy and I deserve to be healthy, and you're not. Guess what? You don't believe it. Your 5% of your mind might believe it. But that 5% of your mind is not what's creating your life. It's the 95% that's in your subconscious mind, just underneath the surface, which is what I help my clients to get to. If you don't get to that, you're not going to get changes, period. Okay? The few people that get that without investing and getting themselves a mentor hit major rock bottom, like almost dead rock bottom, because they downward spiral so far that the pain and suffering wakes them up. Okay? And some of them still don't stay that way after that. That's what happened to Eckhart Tolle. Okay? He now has more money than he knows what to do with, but he wasn't out to get the money. He has the money because he was serving. He suffered so much that when he was about to commit suicide, he recognized this other voice in his head. And it was like, wait, who is this talking to me? And he became aware of the fact that he was not his thoughts. Okay? So what does this have to do with money and abundance? Everything. Because as I was telling you, Dr. Wayne Dyer's first real major inspiration. Okay? Bye, Jean. Mwah. Listen to all of this later, sweetheart. I'll talk to you Friday. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating. What happens is that mind wants to protect us, right? And what Maslow taught was that we always will take care of our survival first. So why am I on here if I'm, a conscious awakening teacher and I'm teaching people to wake up and become their higher conscious selves and be spiritual? I don't even like that term because it's so misused. Because money's just energy. It's an extension of you. I want to break through these negative concepts about money. Why? Because seriously, guys, you go to sorry, I got a little Jackie on my lap here. You go to neighborhoods and to people that are in lack, that are struggling and suffering, okay, because of lack, because of poverty. And what do you get? You get more illness. You get higher crime rates, right? You get violence. You get people stealing. You get people taking advantage of one another. Let's say you have a car salesman, okay? Not to, put down car salesman, but let's say you have a car salesman and, he or she's been a really honest person in sales for a while, and then all of a sudden a recession hits and they're scared and they're nervous, and they know that every car they sell could be, imagine this was you. Every car that you sell is, could be your mortgage payment or your rent, your car payment, your money for the whole next month. Okay? Aren't you more likely to do absolutely anything to get that sale than if you felt you had an abundant mentality? You felt there were limitless amount of customers coming in. You had a ton of cars you could sell. You weren't worried because you sold a bunch of cars already that week and you knew you had plenty of money in the bank. Aren't you more likely in that scenario to be honest, to make a sale fairly than if you were desperate and you didn't know how you were going to put food on the table for your family, how you were going to pay your bills, how you were going to stay in your house? What would you do then? If you were desperate, then what would you do? Wouldn't you then be more desperate? Wouldn't you then do anything you could do to make those sales? Think about it. So one of the reasons I have really shifted into helping people get out of money in abundance issues, get out of survival mode with money in abundance, guys, is because first of all, we need to overcome this concept that money is bad. We need to get over our guilt and our shame over money. Okay? We need to change our concepts of money, our self-concepts of money, and our mindset. And we need to get out of survival mode because each and every one of you came with gifts. You have a specific way in which you can serve. And you can't serve if you're in survival mode. Abraham Maslow taught this. Okay? So for those of you out there saying, well, gee, Larkin, I followed you till you started, helping people get money and wealth and abundance. That's selfish. That's not spiritual. No, actually, it's very important. I want you to think about how your day would be, how your week would be, what your choices would be, and how they'd be different if you were very, very poor and desperate monetarily versus if you had all the money in abundance that you wanted and needed and could use. How would that change everything you did, right? If you could take sick days and you didn't have to worry about losing money, like I used to have to when I was cleaning houses. Didn't matter if I had a migraine or not, I had to go to pay my bills every single day. That's a whole different lifestyle and mentality than what I have now. It's a whole different lifestyle and mentality for anyone. What we do when we're in survival mode is entirely different than what we do when we're secure and confident and abundant in our life. Okay? So yes, if I can help my clients to up-level their money in abundance, everything else improves. Your relationships improve. Your health improves. Your joy improves. Your sleep improves. Your life, quality of life improves. Guys, we don't want money for money. We want money because it up-levels our life in every way. I'm such a better coach now that I'm not struggling and suffering with money. Do you understand? Do you guys get this to me? I'll get to all your awesome questions in just 1 second. I'm just kind of on a channeling roll right here. Do you guys get this? It's not a bad thing to have money. We've been brainwashed that it is. Wouldn't you like to be able to help and support the people that are struggling and suffering that you could help? Do you understand that we've been taught that the only way to get money is by working hard and paying taxes? That is bullshit. It's not true. Eventually, to up-level to a certain level, you have to have multiple sources of income. You have to have, you're working for the money and you got to get your money working to earn more money. There's all sorts of ways that free you up. Because if, this is my last example, and then Timmy, I'll get your questions. I'm glad you're getting this, Timmy. I used to be one of those people that if the plane was going down, I would literally look around and make sure everyone else had their mask on before me, because that's just my nature. Okay? Don't make that mistake with money in abundance. Now I am smart enough to know that if the plane is going down and we have to put on oxygen masks, I sure as hell, hi Cindy, welcome, thanks for tuning in. I sure as hell better have my mask on first, because then I can help more people and help them get their mask on correctly. Having money in abundance is no different. How, I tried to do all this animal rescue for years when I had $10 in my bank account. How can you do that? I was just desperate and upset all the time by what I couldn't contribute or do or help, right? Or I was out there, all the time. Last minute, we were all desperate to raise money from people that had money to help this animal or help that child. I'm not saying that you're going to have enough money to help and save everyone, but what I'm saying is as long as you're in survival mode in any form, you cannot be a full contributor to society, and what you give out comes back to you. So if you are unhappy, miserable, frustrated in any way, I hate to tell you, my friends, but I had to realize this too, and it was a rude, painful awakening. Whatever you are not receiving in your life, whatever abundance you do not have in your life, it is because you are not giving it. Wow. People have gotten mad at me for that one. Larkin, all I do is give. I work all the time. I work over hours and don't get paid. I volunteer. I help people. That's not what I mean. If you're doing all that and you're in that victim mentality, then my friends, you are in survival mode. And it is your job to get yourself out of survival mode, and it starts consciously. I don't care what survival mode you're in. You could be a multimillionaire like many of my clients, and you're in survival mode emotionally because of relationships. They may have the money, but they don't have the abundance. Okay? My point is, you have to get out of survival mode to get what you want. You have to. Okay? Now, Timmy, I'm sorry. Thank you for being patient. Timmy says, I'm feeling you. Awesome. Guys, we're going to close up here soon. I'm sorry. Let's see. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live broadcast. Well, guys, I locked everybody off on Facebook. I have to get back on. How did that happen? Sorry, guys. I don't mean to pause you guys on. All right. Sorry, guys. We're back. I'm so sorry. I was just reading Timmy's great questions, and we got booted off. My apologies, guys. I'm almost done here. I'm going to wrap up, but we have YouTube going on, and we have Facebook going on, and unfortunately, what happened was I flipped the screen around instead of being able to see Timmy's question. So my apologies. If you pop back on, Timmy, anybody else who was watching, Dawn, please repost your question so I can answer your question. I'm so sorry I lost you. But I do kind of want to round up, guys, here. I have a couple other broadcasts I need to do. While we're waiting for Facebook people to log back on, I want to let those of you know on YouTube and those of you maybe just in this group on Facebook, you guys can check out the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network page. Also, if you are on YouTube, please make sure to hit the little reminder bell for when I release new videos. I'll be making and releasing a lot more of those. I'm just actually growing my YouTube page now. And invite anyone you know to tune in and join us. Those of you on Facebook, guys, please make sure to like this broadcast if you have liked it and benefited from it as well. And you can also check out the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network page. Also, Don't forget, if you guys invite people to the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network, My Powerful Choices Top 5% in Abundance group, please, please, please make sure that, whoops. I didn't even have that on. Sorry, guys. I didn't even have Facebook back on. All right, we're back on live, guys, and I'm going to try to round this up here because I've been talking to the Facebook or the YouTube people while I've been waiting for the Facebook to pop back on. I was trying to read your messages to me, and I'm so sorry I missed that. So feel free to repost them. I'm so sorry you guys got booted off. Hey, Pat, welcome. We just got booted off. So I'm going to try to round up this money in abundance. Hello, Carl. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to round up this money in abundance training for today. Please make sure that if you guys didn't hit the first version, that you go back and listen to that. I accidentally hung up on all of us. Hello, Frank. Welcome. I hung up on everyone trying to read somebody's questions, so my apologies. But go back, guys. Listen from the beginning. Ask yourself and seriously answer the questions that I proposed on today's free money in abundance training, and understand how important this mindset shift is for you to actually up-level your money in abundance. Listen all the way through. We did discuss survival mode today and why money in abundance is important. If you don't want to have money, that's fine. I understand and I respect that. But please take heed of this concept of getting out of survival mode, okay? Because if it is just these fears, these past self-limiting beliefs that are keeping you from the money and abundance you want, it's keeping you from serving. It's keeping you from the potential that you have beyond survival mode, okay? And none of us can serve at our best when we're in survival mode, especially in our society here today. You know, if you're struggling with money in abundance, guys, think of all the time and energy that you're spending struggling and worrying about that instead of serving, instead of doing what you enjoy and you have to offer. Okay, this is really, really important. And again, only 5% of you will learn to successfully manifest what you want in your life. And even less than that will accumulate the prosperity, money, wealth, and abundance that is necessary to take yourself even farther, to serve at a greater level, to spend your life doing what you enjoy and really contributing to others and not just trying to get by, okay? If you've never been there, you have no idea what this is like, and that's okay. But you have to start somewhere, right? So where are you going to start? You got to start now, right? You got to start here and now. Now is the time. Today is the day to make your shift. God damn it. Oh, sorry. My phone just shut off again. So I guess what I'll do, guys, is I will go ahead and wrap up here, guys. And then I will try to finish up on Facebook saying goodbye to everyone. So those of you that tuned in for today's and you got to hear me cuss because my phone went out, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was wonderful to have you guys join me. And we will be back next Wednesday for our free live money in abundance training. I will be posting that as well. Don't forget to check out my groups and everything on Facebook, which I will post underneath this broadcast for you guys. Like that little bell so you can follow me, and share this with others if you found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make it a great day. I'll talk to you next week. Before then, I'll do some more broadcasts. All right. Bye, guys.